Scott Pears. I'm a veteran and I own and operate a small roastery in Salem, Oregon. And today we're going to talk about, wait for it, Airscape and why I think it's very important to use. All right, here we go. Well, let's dive into it. Why would Scott from the Roasting Shack want to tell you information that's widely available? Well, because it's all true. So, why do I support Airscape containers? They come in two sizes, a pound and I think a kilo, which is a 2.2 pounds. We carry both sizes. But why do I think these things are awesome and I actually use them in my personal life as well as my business? And here's why. Number one of the biggest things that damage beans is sun. So the sun, either UV lights or UV light or heat, right, will heat up a container. So obviously you still, these are pretty thick, but you'd want to keep it out of direct sunlight. But they stop UV light. Boom. Awesomeness. Number two, oxygen. Not good for coffee, especially after it's roasted. So after you roast coffee, it releases CO2 and it actually creates a stable environment if you have an airtight sealed bag. That's why it's so important to make sure that you do have an airtight area that you're storing your coffee in. An example of a non-airtight area, and I just use this for testing my grinds and stuff out of defect beans, is this type of container. Sounds good, right? But when you close it, yeah, it keeps air from coming in, but it doesn't really stop the air. It doesn't push anything out. It's clear. It's going to receive that sun damage. Not a good container, really, if you have specialty coffee and you're wanting to keep it good. Oxygen. We want to minimize that, right? Oxygen is all around us. But when you have a fresh roasted coffee bean, you want to be able to put it into a container. And then you want to be able to push that air back out of it and minimize the oxidization that occurs when any food product is exposed to oxygen. So that pulls essential oils out. So sun, UV light, oxygen, they all do one thing, and they're pulling essential oils and stuff out of that coffee bean, and they're taking away the taste and smells and all the things you love about specialty coffee, and they're eliminating those. They're drying out the bean, creating a stale bean, and actually, as the bean becomes more stale, it actually invites in a type of acidity that can hurt your stomach. So, like, using stale coffee will, if you have acidic problems, will actually contribute to acidity in coffee. The third thing is moisture. And moisture, if you're changing environments back and forth, like cold to hot, hot to cold, some people put their stuff in the freezer. If that's your thing you do to keep your coffee fresh, I don't think it's the best way. I think a good room temperature storage in like an Airscape container is perfect. But if you do that type of thing, you're going to be pulling those essential oils out of the bean, because when you put it into the cold environment, it pulls the water out, right, and your oils out of the bean and creates a stale bean. If you do decide to do that method, my recommendation would be you keep the beans in the freezer and you just take out what you need. That way it's as fresh as it can get, but any type of bouncing back and forth is going to make your coffee stale. So I'm Scott. I'm from the Roasting Shack. I'm telling you, the Airscape container is a small investment if you're buying specialty coffee. I highly recommend it. It protects against almost all the elements, and what it doesn't protect to, it limits, which is like oxygen. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Like I said, none of the information's revolutionary, but sometimes it's good to hear and find out why somebody's actually saying something's good. And hopefully this finds you guys all in good spirits, happy coffee people, and I'll talk to you next time. As the Airscape container, which looks just like this one. This container is great. It limits from, unless you drop it. It limits, oh my gosh, good grief. I think we'll redo this. What do you think?